So here's our diagram this time. This time in our diagram, AB is parallel to DC. And then we are also told here that BE is 27, DE is 45, AE is 21, and CE is 35. We want to decide what triangles are similar. Now, when we have parallel lines, what do we know about our diagram? Parallel lines mean something are congruent. What are congruent when we have parallel lines? So here, CD and AB are parallel. If I were to draw this transversal through, what can you tell me? Do I have some angles that should be congruent? Remember, whenever you see parallel lines, that means that you have angles that are congruent. So if we see parallel lines, let's mark the angles that are congruent. So these two angles would be congruent. What's their relationship? What are those two called? Good, alternate interior. Is there another line that can cut through both of these? It's a transversal. There is. So we could also look at your two parallel lines with our other transversal going through. So then what could you tell me about those two angles? Would those two also have to be congruent? By alternate interior again. Now in these two triangles, do I have two angles congruent? As soon as I know I have two angles congruent, two sides are. Okay? So I have angle A marked congruent to angle. How would I name this angle here? What three letters could I use? How would I name this angle? That's a C underneath that highlighter. So remember, you have to use three letters. So D, and then you'd go C, E. Okay? Angle D is congruent to, how could I name this angle over here? Which three letters can I use? D, okay. AB, what? AB, E would work. Okay, so we're going to name that the two angles are congruent. And then we'll name that the two triangles are similar. So triangle, let's start with ABE, is similar to triangle. So here if I started with angle A, what angle do I need to start with up here? C. Okay, I went to B second, so what's my second angle up there? D, and then E. By angle, angle, similarity. Is that okay? All right, we're going to do one last problem, and it is requiring us to look at some different diagrams of triangles and then decide which two are similar. So determine which of the following triangles are similar to each other. So let's first look at angle measures, because if we just get two angle measures to be the same, then we're similar. So do any of these have the same angle measures? See, I see angles on B, C, and E. So do any of those have two angles that are congruent on each other? No. All right, they all have a 30 degree, but none of them have a second angle which would be congruent. So we can't say anything about B, C, and E. Well, B doesn't have any sides to compare it to, so we can't compare that to anyone. C doesn't have any sides, so we can't compare that to anyone. E only has two sides, but these two don't have angles, so we can't compare that one either. So it looks like it's probably going to be A and D, but we need to make sure. So I want to set up the proportions here. So what side would correspond with 8? 8 would go with what side over here? 8 and 4. Okay, does that equal? What side would go with 5 over here? Not the 4.5, the 2.5. It looks like it's rotated a little bit, this diagram. And then 9 would go with which one? Yep, 9 would go with 4.5. Well, what's 8 over 4? What does that simplify to? 2 over 1. What does 5 over 2.5 simplify to? What's 5 divided by 2.5? 2, so that's also 2 over 1. What's 9 over 4.5? Or you can think of it as dividing. It's also 2, so this is also 2 over 1. So that means our triangle D and our triangle A are the similar ones. Okay, we'll spend a few days on this, so today and tomorrow. So your assignment for tomorrow is page 302, problems 10 to 21, and then 28.